Good morning. My name is Matt Bruce. My pronouns are he, him, and it's my pleasure to serve on your Board of Trustees. I'm so happy to welcome you here this morning. If you are here for the first time, thank you for joining us. We look forward to getting to know you. We invite everyone present in the sanctuary today to join our in-person community time immediately following the service. Each week, we remind ourselves of our congregation's core values. They are connection, transformation, justice, and acceptance. Our mission is to embody these core values in our daily lives by welcoming all, inspiring compassion, nurturing wonder, and serving community. Inspiring compassion means we cultivate caring communities for one another in this congregation. We bear witness to love and pain in the world and respond, individually and collectively, with acts of compassion. I want to announce that today there will be an informal gathering from noon until 1:30 to talk about joy. How do you find and experience joy? What simple joys do you experience again and again? Does joy have a ripple effect? Join the conversation if you'd like to talk and learn from each other about joy. The gathering will take place at the living room at Gale House, the house just south of this building. No preparation is necessary. It is being offered by our spiritual care team. And now we have a special welcome from Reverend Emily.
You will notice some unusual instruments here today, and we're so glad to welcome the Friends of the Gamelan, who are here to share and perform some traditional music from Indonesia. And we invite you to hold your applause for them until the very end of the service. Thank you.
We are so glad that you are here with us today. I invite you now to take a moment to greet one another, both online and here in the sanctuary.
Our chalice lighter this morning is Gwen. Gwen loves cookies. Gwen loves to help. And Gwen was a cookie helper this morning. And Gwen also loves unicorns. Please join with me in the words of our chalice lighting. We are Unitarian, Universalists. This is the church of the open minds, the loving hearts, and the helping hands. We take care of the planet Earth and each other.
Yang siapa It is an honor and a joy to welcome the Reverend Elikesh Jolt to Unity Temple's pulpit. Many of you know Jolt from his time as a ministerial intern here at Unity Temple. I also have had the joy of knowing Jolt for several years. His and my paths have crossed several times, including he and I worked together to create a joint youth pilgrimage for Transylvanian and American Unitarian and Unitarian Universalist youth. Like you, I've experienced what a remarkable person and minister Jolt is. He is a difference maker, not only in Transylvania, but in our global Unitarian and Unitarian Universalist faith. He's part of a small group of leaders who are designing a new, truly global UU organization. Jolt is the chaplain at the Unitarian High School in Kolozsvár, which is the largest city in Transylvania. His work literally is at the center of Hungarian Unitarianism because the school is located in the headquarters of the Hungarian Unitarian Church. Welcome, Jolt, my friend. It is so good to have you here virtually, and we look forward to the time that you can be at Unity Temple in person.
Good morning, everybody. I think it is safe to say that this is the farthest place where you have been greeted at Unity Temple in your history, maybe. We are thousands of kilometers or miles apart, but it's still an incredible joy for me to welcome you to this morning's worship from Transylvania and from my church, the chapel of the János Zsigmond Unitarian High School, the oldest still active educational institution in Transylvania, founded in 1557. It's an incredible joy to be with you in this morning, and I invite you to join me in today's worship.
And join me in singing hymn number 1023 in the Teal hymnal. It is around, and I will sing it all the way through, and I've asked our soprano extraordinaire, Christine Steyer, to help us when it's time for the round. So please stand, and I just want to tell you, we are going to do it in two parts. So we'll all sing it through twice, and then I'll lead this part of the congregation in the first entrance, and then Christine will bring you in the second entrance. But let's give it 2 times around. Building bridges. And join me. Building bridges within our divisions. I reach out to you. Will you reach out to me? Lift all of our voices and all of our visions. As we could make such sweet harmony. Building bridges.
Please remain standing and join me in the words of our covenant. Love is the doctrine of this congregation. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humanity in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the Thus do we covenant with each other and with God. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Emma Farrell. I go by any pronoun spoken with respect. I am a member of the spiritual care team. And of course, we say every week that love is the doctrine of this congregation. And one of the ways that we live that out is by sharing joys and sorrows with one another as a symbol of our interconnectedness and care for each other. If you would like to share a joy or a sorrow of your own, there are many ways you can. You can reach out to the email address spiritualcare@unitytemple.org. There's also a binder outside the sanctuary that you could write in. And if you would like to talk to someone about what is on your heart, we have several members of the spiritual care team that are here to serve you in that capacity. So we know that life has a way of breaking us all down sometimes, and it is better to be together in those times. We truly do share from the heart with each other and are here to serve. So please don't hesitate to reach out. It's the same email address, spiritualcare@unitytemple.org. So we have one concern that has been shared for this week. Mary Motet shares that they are parenting a parent with cancer. She says, if you know, you know. She asked for prayers for her mom's surgery this Thursday. Mary, we will keep your mother and your whole family in our hearts. And of course, there are many joys and concerns and sorrows that might be too tender to share, too personal. And we make space for all of those. In a moment, you'll have the opportunity to drop a stone in the bowl, and there are several throughout the sanctuary. And as we do this, we will engage in the spiritual practice of silence as we make room for our own and each other's joys and sorrows. At the end of that, we will sing together one time, Spirit of Life. Let us begin.
And now, please join me in a moment of meditation and prayer. Creative Spirit of life, source of all beings in this planet, in which we live and move and have our being. We give thanks to all of nature's bounties. We give thanks for caring friends and compassionate neighbors. We give thanks for the communion of those who seek to serve others. Each of us carries our private griefs and burdens. Sometimes we can share these, and for the open hearts which respond, we are grateful. Sometimes the world bears heavy upon us. We struggle alone, search the depths, and long for healing, for renewed hope, for strength, which give their grace and peace. Help us be strengthened in efforts to be of service, and encourage us to be always mindful that our lives are filled with privilege, with success and joy that are foreclosed to many. May our prayer be that we always see clearly and keep before us the commandment to care. And may we try always to be inclusive and open, not exclusive and narrow. On this day and every day, may we give thanks, but let us also be dissatisfied with the world as it is for a new world that is waiting to be realized. May our spirits and bodies be nourished and nurtured as we give thanks in praise of all that sustains, heals, and holds, all that is holy. Blessed be, may it be so. Amen.
This morning I have a story that I'm going to tell from here in the pulpit, so you can snuggle in next to whoever you love in the pews. And we have some pictures that'll be up on the screen. This is called Our Place in the Cosmos by Erica Hewitt. We humans have always looked up at the stars, wondered about them, and even told stories about them. During the many thousands of years that human beings have been looking up at the stars, we've changed our understanding of what the universe looks like and how it works. More than 500 years ago, a man named Nicholas Copernicus was born in Poland. He watched the stars and planets and used his observations to come up with a pretty unique and upsetting idea. In his day, most people thought that the Earth was the center of the universe. They also thought that stars were little holes in a glass ball around the Earth. And Copernicus thought, what if the universe doesn't move around the Earth? What if the Earth is actually a planet circling the sun? He wrote a book about this idea, which was not popular. If he hadn't died soon after, it's possible he would have been put in jail. Sometimes people don't like to have their ideas challenged. Today we know that Copernicus was right. Our planet Earth circles the sun, which is a star. It took a long, long time, hundreds of years, for people to finally believe this and to stop saying that the Earth was the center of the universe. But for hundreds of years, that belief that the universe revolved around Earth was so stuck in people's minds that it became part of religion, too. It was a kind of a religious belief. So when Copernicus said, "I don't think the heavens revolve around the Earth," he was speaking as a scientist, but the church heard it as challenging their religion. There's a word for that, and it's heresy. That meant that not just scientists, but anyone could get into big trouble for promoting the idea that the sun was at the center of our solar system. Believe it or not, this upsetting theory of Copernicus intersects with the story of our Unitarian ancestors. Not very far away from where Copernicus watched the planets and stars, there was a land called Transylvania, a land of rolling green hills and mountains. Transylvania is where some of the first Unitarians built their churches and formed their faith, right about the same time that Copernicus wrote his book Around the Earth Revolving Around the Sun. Our Unitarian ancestors already knew what it was like to say and believe things that could get them into trouble. One of these was Edge Oz Ishten, or God is one. When they and we say God is one, we're saying that we don't agree with the Christian doctrine that Jesus was God incarnate. We're saying Jesus was fully human. A lot of Unitarians in Transylvania and elsewhere died because they wouldn't stop believing or saying that. One of the villages in Transylvania, today a part of Romania that is ethnically Hungarian, is Auckland. Its Unitarian church is over 400 years old. Like a lot of Transylvanian Unitarian churches, the church has a wooden ceiling that's divided into deep square panels. Most of them have flowers or plants painted on them, but there's one very special ceiling panel, a sun surrounded by circling planets. It's a diagram of the Copernican solar system. In Blessing the World, Rebecca Parker writes, "Holy regard for knowledge is at the heart of our religious faith. At a time when religion was opposing science, our ancestors in the remote mountains and valleys of Transylvania built sanctuaries that affirmed the discovery of science. They did so even when the dominant religious culture advocated ideologies that allowed no new revelation. Let us celebrate these gifts which have been woven into our religious DNA. We belong to a tradition in which religion and science have never been forced apart or asked each other to be silent. We as a people encourage one another to explore and discover, to ask questions, and declare that revelation is not sealed and will never be sealed. We can always keep on learning. And to freely follow the call, whatever it is that connects us most deeply to the world inside of us and to the universe around us." I invite our young people to head out to Unity House for some fun activities.
Buen dia. My name is Judy Gallardo Cruz, and my pronouns are she, her.
And I'm Terry Grace. My pronouns are he, him. We are very fortunate and privileged to have an immigrant Venezuelan family living with us right now. That was facilitated by our own Patricia Tucker Ladd. And we are very fortunate that we're empty nesters with a lot of room and experience hosting people. In fact, Jolt was with us for a year during his ministerial internship.
I'd like to introduce you to our family. Terry took them to the Field Museum last week. It was the first time there. You can see we have other pictures that show them individually. This is Victoria. She is the 6-year-old. She has a pistol. We have adopted each other. She's amazing. Her sister, this next one, this is Maria, the mom on the side, and this is Valeria, 16-year-old, who's having a great time at OPRF. You'll notice she's quite tall, as opposed to a lot of South American families. She bent down so she wouldn't tower over her mom. And then the last picture is Dad Enoch. He's quite a character, too. It's a wonderful family. You might wonder how we are accommodating 4 extra people in our house, and really, it has been quite easy. We have a finished attic. Mom and Dad are up there, and then we have one spare bedroom where Victoria and Valeria chose to sleep together, and I believe that's a cultural thing because we have an extra bedroom that we offered to them, but they said no, they'd sleep together. Their schedules are different than ours. They're early risers. They eat early. They go to bed early, and we are just the opposite. So really, we don't get in each other's way, even with the fact that we have one shower. That's not been an issue. They are lovely, lovely people. Mom cooks every day. They eat together as a family. We eat together as a separate family, but then we have joint times together. I already feel like, we are really joined. I feel like we are family, and I just want to say, it just seems like it would be so difficult to live together, and this has been so easy, even though they speak no English, and we speak very little Spanish, but Google Translated is an amazing thing, and all of us are working to learn the other language, and my Spanish is actually starting to come back some, but anyway, it's, I just can't tell you how fulfilling this whole experience has been for me.
It's been a two-way relationship. We've offered room and board, and we facilitate help for them whenever they need it. And we're actually helping them a little bit with English. For us, our house has never been so clean. Maria is an obsessive cleaner. She feels it's a spiritual thing. It helps her identify with her mother, who loved to clean, who passed away. They also took care of our house while we were gone on vacation. We came back, and it was sparkling clean. More than we'd ever seen in our lives. It's never been. But it's also a social benefit. And we are learning some Spanish. As Judy said, hers is coming back. I never had it to start with, so I'm slowly but surely learning.
They are wonderful people. They have come here. They're following the right channels. But right now, they have to wait for asylum and a work permit. They are really industrious. They want to support themselves, save so they can get an apartment. And so I'm just putting this out there. If anybody needs any cleaning or yard work, painting, some drywalling, not electrical, but a lot of handyman things, both Maria and Enoch are wonderful. They're very reliable. They would love to help you out and let let you help them.
I asked Maria, is there anything she would like me to share with you? They know about this and they approved of the pictures and everything else. And she said, quote, "We are responsible people with a lot of love," unquote. Thank you.
This month at Unity Temple, we've been putting the spotlight on immigration and refugee response, and the story that Terry and Judy shared is one aspect of the ways our community has reached out to help those asylum seekers who have arrived in Oak Park. We are going to take up the offering today, as we have been all month, for the Oak Park Community Migrant Resettlement Fund. Each week, we split the offering evenly, and one half supports the programs and mission of our congregation, and this week the other half goes to that resettlement fund. And the fund is part of the community-driven volunteer effort seeking to connect asylum seekers currently in Oak Park to safe and secure long-term housing. The Community of Congregations is the fiscal agent for this fund. May we be transformed by our giving, and may the world be transformed by our gifts. This reading is called Small Decisions. It's from J.D. Stillwater. It starts off with a quote from Jane Goodall. "You cannot go through a single day without having an impact on the world around you. What you do makes a difference, and you have to decide what kind of difference you want to make." I remember the moment. I shuffled out of my plant biology class feeling adrift, feeling deeply the dismal gray day outside. What am I doing here? I stopped at a drinking fountain, and when I looked up, there it was, a simple sheet of paper with large, plain text, "The Great Peace March." 5,000 people were going to walk from Los Angeles to Washington, D.C. to end the nuclear arms race. I stared, then I turned and continued down the hall, but the idea grew. I would do this. That was 1985. I did walk across the U.S., joining a band along the way. After the march, the band toured where I met my spouse. We moved to L.A. to become rock stars. Our family grew and the band dispersed, so we moved back east to a deep green tree farm where I became a science teacher. Each thing leading to another, then another, not in a straight line, but in a massive avalanche of life changes triggered by a single snowflake that took the shape of a small poster. Many years later, I went back to school to study physics and became excited by complexity theory, which tells us that complex systems are highly sensitive to imperceptibly small changes over time. This is sometimes called the butterfly effect. Little changes can snowball into massive impacts. I'm astounded to realize that a sheet of paper stuck on a wall in 1985 is directly responsible for everything in my life today, indirectly affecting countless other lives too. I wonder about the person who stuck that paper there. Were they running late? Did they agonize about the spot? Were they paid? One thing I'm sure of, they could not have known how much their simple act would change my world and, over time, the whole world. I wish I could tell them how grateful I am. How many other little things have had a similarly profound influence on me that I didn't even notice? It lights up my imagination with wonder and astonishment. Today I will make dozens of small decisions. I will never know their ultimate impact, though I suspect that some of them matter tremendously. If each one carries a snowflake's worth of the change I wish to see in the world, in time, an avalanche of justice, equity, and compassion will follow. Am I willing to feel some gratitude flowing back from generations ahead? Great river of time and change, for as long as I swim within you, let my simple daily gestures swell with others into great eddies of love and justice for generations downriver, today and always.
Once again, it is an incredible joy and privilege to join you today in this morning's worship. I'm sure that this screen is being watched by people who I met, loved, and cared for during my internship years. And I'm sure that the screen is being watched by people who I never met and joined since Unity Temple. And I'm glad for all of you. I welcome all of you into this place of worship through different time zones and being far away by thousands of kilometers. For those who don't know me, I want to give a little introduction on why this worship is happening. My name is Joel Delekes, as you have heard a couple of times today, and I'm a Transylvanian Unitarian minister. And in 2018, I was privileged enough to spend 1 year as a grant student at Midley Lombard Theological School. And during that year, I was the interminister of the Unity Temple Unitarian Universalist congregation. And after my 1 year of spending the most meaningful time, the most loving time, the most fun time of my life among your community, among the members of your community, I came home and I finished my studies. And now I'm serving in this church, in this chapel, at the János Zsigmond Unitarian High School. For 200 kids every Friday morning, we are having a prayer and a meditation. And they are listening to me on whatever wisdom I can share with them. We are playing the guitar, we are playing the piano. It is a fun time. I learned a little bit about the music culture also at Unity Temple. And you know why this is interesting? That I became a school chaplain? It is because I was never a good kid at the school. I was never one of the examples of my classmates. Actually, it was the opposite. Ever since the first class, I was always the clown of the class. I was making the jokes for my classmates, and yes, I was making fun of my teachers as well. And I'm not proud of this past, but it is also part of my being, of my heritage. Up until 11th grade, I was being the clown of the classroom, up until the professors decided that they should kick me out of school. Because of my behavior, I think they made the right decision. And back in my hometown, in Brașov, we only have one Hungarian school. We are, and I am, ethnic Hungarian living in Romania. All of us Unitarians are like me. And being kicked out by the only Hungarian school meant that I need to leave most of my social circle. I needed to leave my friends, my schoolmates, and everybody basically who I knew. I needed to leave all my life behind and join a half Romanian and half Hungarian school that only provided one Hungarian class for me. Those were very challenging times, as you can imagine. I felt that my life is worthless, that I have no reason to live on this planet, and I am a failure to the society. And during these rebel years of being a teenager, I was searching for some meaning in my life. I was trying to talk to God. I never succeeded. I was trying to find my inner peace in different communities, in the Roman Catholic, in the Lutheran, in the Calvinist congregation. But really, the only place where I felt that I shouldn't feel ashamed and I can still be a little bit worthwhile, it was in the Unitarian congregation. I visited the local Unitarian youth group, and despite there being students who at my former school were showing their fingers at me that, haha, he is the kicked out boy from the school, somehow in the Unitarian congregation and the local youth group, they were the kindest people for me. And I think this is what transformative faith is about. When someone is conditioned to care and love for somebody who they otherwise despise, and that was me. Those at the local youth group, those people who sometimes were the harshest to me, they were the kindest to me there. They were welcoming of me, they were caring for me, and somehow they figured out that I can work something. I can organize camps, I can organize events, I can have blasting ideas coming out from my head, and they also transformed me. They were transformed by their faith, and they transformed me, so I will not become a depressive child. When we are talking about transformative faith, I think this is the kind of faith that we are talking about. This is the kind of faith that we are adhering to and we are attending, where one can be transformed by their faith and one can transform others. After I returned to Transylvania, 2 years, I finished my studies, and then I became a school chaplain. And when the war in Ukraine, the brutal invasion of Russia began in 2022, February, many of the students asked me, what can we do? Will my dad go to war? Will the atomic bomb arrive? And I realized that I need to provide them some answers. And when I was trying to think about the answers, I was literally, and believe me, I'm not being kind here, I was literally thinking of you people of Unity Temple. What would those people do who taught me how to love, how to be caring, how to be kind genuinely? I was thinking, what would your response be to these children? And this is how I and the other teachers and people at the bishop's office realized that the only thing we can do as Unitarian people is to open our homes and accept all those who are fleeing from war. If you were looking at the sacred texts, also, we could have found that out. But for me, personally, it was you who came to my mind. And I can name most of the people who came to my mind. I wouldn't do that now. Maybe I will forget one or two names. But believe me, a couple of you came to my mind. And this is how, at the peak of the refugee crisis that was fleeing from the neighboring Ukraine, we housed more than 200 people. And I was constantly thinking of you. Even then, when we bumped basically into an 88-year-old lady at our local airport who was telling us that he needs to go to Moscow. And we did not ask questions. We were there to help, basically. But we were surprised by this ask from a Ukrainian lady who fled Ukraine because of the Russian aggression, that she tells us that she needs to get to Moscow. We told her that, you know, sweet lady, this is not how things are working at the airport, but we can provide you housing and food. Come with us in our bases. We will help you buy the flight ticket and get you to Moscow. And we drove this lady, who was called Svetlana, to one of the apartments where we also housed other Ukrainian refugees. And in the evening, these refugees called us over for dinner. Ukrainian people make amazing food. And we were sitting at the table and we were talking to each other. And the Ukrainian people asked Svetlana, why do you want to go to Moscow? The obvious question. And she told us that that's where she has her only relative, her son, who is also a Russian soldier, an active Russian soldier. And you can imagine, we were surprised and we were shocked by this statement. We were sitting there at the table, and for a couple of seconds the air froze. But in those couple of seconds, somehow, how we were looking at each other's face and looking to each other's eyes, somehow we realized that, you know, this is not a time for moralizing. This is not a time to tell this 88-year-old lady that her son is contributing to the aggression of war. There were Ukrainian refugees who were fleeing from that war, so it would have been absolutely rightful to say. But it wasn't like that. For somehow, at that table, people realized that this is a place where we need to help. We were fortunate enough to cross paths with an old lady who asked us for help. And we are people of faith. What can we do? To help or to start sharing our absolutely right wisdom? And yes, those people, those Ukrainian people, were the ones who helped Svetlana buy her flight tickets, hugged her, kissed her, get her to the airport, and let her go to Moscow to her son. This is also a transformation that doesn't necessarily come from our Unitarian faith, but comes from a place where we sit together at the table and we kind of realize that we are here to bring peace into this world, even during the darkest times, even during the times where we want to share our rightfulness and we want to share our rage. But no, even during these times, we are called to help. All those people who seek help. At that table, people transform because they let their soul and their heart to speak. And they realize that during these times, what we can do, we need to share it. I believe the transformation is random acts of kindness. Random acts of kindness that do not necessarily have the intent of changing the world. Random acts of kindness that are not shared widely on social media and are not the headlines of news channels. Random acts of kindness that are genuine and are not prepared well in advance. Random acts of kindness like opening your home to a complete stranger, and if you stepped into my life in 2018 and 2019, you perfectly know who I am talking about. Yes, they are among you today as well. They were a tremendous grace for me. Random acts of kindness like helping the Guatemalan refugee Lalo, who was actively helped to get citizenship in 2018 by multiple members of the congregation, so he will not face certain death upon his detainment. Yes, these people are amongst you today as well. Random acts of kindness like taking someone out to do sports like pickleball, inviting someone over for dinner, lending your unused car for someone who couldn't afford car rental when their family visited, or cheering for someone who wants to accomplish their life goal of traveling the world. Yes, all of these people are sitting today in the pews of Unity Temple, and they transformed at least one person's life. For that I can vouch. But I know that they changed hundreds of life paths over the course of years and decades. And I am fairly confident they didn't do these so they can benefit from their acts of kindness. You know, every religion teaches us humility and humbleness. But actually, few churches can provide examples on how to practice them in their fullness. Because it is not the belief that makes you whole. It is not turning up for Sunday worship, but it is our actions. And we can believe in any or no sacred text. We can listen to the wisdom of many great thinkers, but one person's faith is only relevant if it becomes action. Yes, faith in action. In Transylvania, in the United States, and anywhere in the world. This is how we are connected, and this is how time difference, geographical distance, and cultural barriers cannot be the obstacle of our global faith that lives not in the time and place, but in our everlasting souls to change the world into a better place now and ever. This is the transformative power of Unitarianism and Unitarian Universalism. And this is how we continue to strongly hold each other in our arms and to continue loving this world. Me from Transylvania, you from the United States, me with Ukrainians, for example, you with Central Americans, we in this chapel, you at Unity Temple. May it be so. Blessed be. Amen.
It's amazing. Well, in honor of our visiting minister, we're going to sing a Transylvanian hymn this morning. Now, yes, you can. Yes, you can. I have Christine Steyer to help me. Don't stand. Don't stand. If you would open up your teal hymnals to number 1043. My friend and colleague Elizabeth Norton wrote this when she brought her choir to Transylvania. Good idea, huh? Now, if you look at Zalaka Aldes, is how it is pronounced, you can see the pronunciation guide on the bottom of the page. And in the large letters, not in the italics, which pronunciation is usually put in italics, so I keep going up to that. But it's much more helpful to look at the large letters. I'm going to sing this twice through for you, and then Christine will help me in singing part 2, which is in English. It's a different melody that goes beautifully with the Transylvanian. And then I'll give you the choice. And I know what you're thinking. And it's fine because I'll be singing the Transylvanian, but you'll be surprised after reading through with me and listening. Even if you don't sing and you're just listening, you'll be able to do it. So let's try it. Peter? All he tote seretet, all seretet, all beke, all dash, all dash, all sushek, nishen. Oh, come on, try it. All he do seretet, all seretet, all beke, all dash, all ishten, all sigshek, nishen. Come on up with me. Where there is faith, there is love. Where there is love, there is peace. Where there is peace, there is blessing. Where there is blessing, there is love. Where there is love, there is no need. Do that again. Where there is faith, there is love. Where there is love, there is peace. Where there is peace, there is blessing. Where there is blessing, there is God. Where there is God, there is no need.
beloved friends, go now in peace. Continue to share your love in this world. Be kind to each other, and let us rejoice that we are part of a global faith that connects us. It connected us today. It made us joyful of this reconnection. And it made us happy that in these times where technology can help us, we can meet once again and bring greatness, happiness, love, kindness, humility in this world. I love you very much, and I know that your love will fill this world and my heart as well.
Please join with me in the words of our chalice extinguishing. Carry the flame of peace and love until we meet again.